You don't need lots of engagement, likes, or comments to sign clients and make money on LinkedIn. And I know this because one of my clients only averages around 8 likes a post, has around 3,000 followers, yet somehow is able to sign $250,000 a year deals from LinkedIn. Now, how he's doing it is by using a simple strategy that converts a small account into a high trustworthy, high authority client machine. And the best part about it is that you can copy the strategy right now. So let me show you exactly how we do it. We do it by posting daily on LinkedIn with 5 specific post types. Now, these 5 post types I've proven work really well to build trust, build authority, get impressions, and get you in front of your ideal customer. Before you begin writing content, you first just need to be very aware of the type of content and who you're writing for. If you're building a small account that maybe hasn't got many followers, that maybe hasn't got many likes or comments, you need to be very particular about the type of content you're creating. We're not going to be posting for likes or comments, we're posting for clients. And that means we're going to be talking to the exact problems that our clients have. And bear in mind, this might not be the things that get likes, but that's okay because we want to make revenue and clients with our profiles. We don't want to generate a bunch of worthless engagement. So the very first post type we're going to be doing on LinkedIn in order to get clients coming in is the social proof post. The social proof post is essentially a mini case study, but in an edutainment format. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to actually show a mini case study of how we worked with someone or how we got a result for a client that is kind of similar to what you're selling, but we're doing it on LinkedIn so it doesn't feel like we're selling all the time. And now the way we do these social proof posts is we essentially say some sort of hook that explains the before and the after point of a client or of someone that you've worked with. So for example, like, hey, here's how we scale this ad account from 20K in ad spend to 500K in ad spend, and then you walk through how you did it. In that social proof post, it's incredibly important to get one thing very right, and that's the graphic of the post. I see a lot of social proof posts on LinkedIn and they speak about how they did something awesome, but there's no proof that they did it. Now, we're living in an age where anyone can really write anything on the internet. And so what you can do to stand above the rest of the market is to include a really simple screenshot of the type of result that you got the client. So for example, if you help them scale an ad account, have a screenshot of that ad account manager. If it's just a testimonial, have a screenshot of a Slack conversation. If it's just you showing the work you did, have a screenshot of the work you did. Whatever it is, just prove it in the media piece. Prove out the social proof that you have by having some sort of media, some sort of screenshot, maybe in a video testimonial, just in that post itself. Now, you'll be surprised this works really well. It's actually one of the most important posts you need to be doing in order to get clients from LinkedIn. Now, once you have this social proof post going, you then want to look a bit more personable and you want to look like a human being. So we're going to add a personal post type into the mix. The personal post type is when you talk about yourself, your journey, or your future goals for your company. So the personal post type for many businesses, it's, hey, I was here and now I'm here. I was broke and I had no money and now I run a 7-figure agency. That's the most common type of personal post that you do, but it doesn't have to be like that. It could be as simple as, hey, here's my team, we're going out for lunch, we have, an 8-person team. You're beginning to show some story behind what you're doing. We've been working really hard on these client projects. This is what we're up to. All we're trying to do is just give a sneak peek inside the business and humanize your brand. And you can get really clever with these post types. There's a certain type of post type in the personal one that I love, and it's the public goal post. The public goal post is essentially when you say, hey, I have a goal that I'm going to help X or Y people get this result. We're going to do it like this. This is my mission. Comment below if that's you or you want some help. If not, I look forward to sharing the journey with you. We're basically hiding a call to action or someone to like, hey, raise your hand, buy my services in a personal post where you're taking your mission and you're making your business aligned to a bigger thing that people can rally behind. And it just works really well. Now, the third post type we want to consider is the education post type. The education post type is how we bring value onto LinkedIn and how we get more people to see us and also how we build trust. Now, it's not as social proofy. We don't have to have a case study. We don't have to talk about ourselves, but we're really speaking about how to do something. So the most typical ways that people do education post types is like, here's how to do some sort of task that people struggle with. So an example of a education post type is, here's how to write a LinkedIn post really quickly, or it could be, here's how to build backlinks to my site. But the better way to do education posts is not to say how to, but to say how I. Now, when you say how I as a post type, instead of saying how to, you get a lot more engagement. And that's because people are following you. They want to know about your journey. And as a small account, you want to be bringing people into your mix and showing that, hey, you've done the actual work itself. You don't just talk about the theoreticals of how to do something. You've done it yourself. This is how I would do it, or this is how I did it. And that makes your posts hit so much harder. Now, after you have the social proof, the personal, and the education post, you kind of want to be tying in some trending posts. Now, the trending post type is essentially when you have an opinion that either agrees or goes against the market. So for example, we have various opinions in the market. One of them is that you should only post for clients. You shouldn't be really posting for likes. Now, some people disagree with this. Some people agree with this. It shows that we're relevant. We're thinking about what the market thinks as well. And we're also putting our stake in the sand. We're showing what our beliefs are. Now, when you get your trending post right, when it's something that the market feels but hasn't really said out loud, you get a lot of engagement with that post. And although that wasn't our goal, it's a lot of good engagement because it makes people feel that you're hearing them and it makes them feel seen. Now, another strong opinion that we hold that would also fit into that trending post type would be that we don't believe in chasing impressions, we believe in leaving an impression. So what that means is when we put out content, we want it to have a resonance with our target ICP, and we don't care that it might not get a lot of impressions because we know that if the post is right, it will get reach in the right circles, and that's what we care about. So we have our social proof posts, our trending posts, our educational posts, our personal posts. There's one final post that sits in this framework that absolutely can explode an account, and that's the lead magnet post type. Now, on our accounts, when we're focusing so much at our bottom of our funnel about our clients, we also need to explode our impressions ever so slightly so that we can get new people into our content mix really easy. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through the lead magnet post type. The lead magnet post type is when we give away a resource for free. So something that's really valuable. So for example, maybe it's a long form Google Doc, maybe it's a presentation, maybe it's a masterclass, maybe it's a bunch of templates, a swipe file, whatever it is, something so valuable that people want it, and we give it away for free on LinkedIn, and we say, hey, when you comment, can you like to access this post or this resource? Now, when you do this, a lot of people jump on board, they all comment, and it feeds the algorithm, and it actually explodes your visibility, and it makes you go viral. It's how we're able to go viral on demand for a lot of the accounts that we work with on LinkedIn, and as a result, we're able to get a lot of new people into our profile, seeing our content, becoming aware of who we are, and then we push out those 4 other post types: social proof, trending, education, and personal, and they're there to nurture people through and get them into that buying position. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to explode visibility with the lead magnet post type, and then we're using the other post pillars to actually nurture through. Now, as a result of this, the daily content system by itself generates actually a lot of inbound. By itself, it's able to get us people that are literally putting their hand up, DMing us and saying, hey, I'm interested in your services, I want to work with you. And so one can 100% build a small account that signs 5-figure, 6-figure deals just from content alone. But if you want to maximize your performance, you want to maximize the amount of revenue you're able to make on LinkedIn, there's a couple more steps that you should be thinking about. All that content we're posting is generating demand, and it's creating attention for yourself and your business. As a result, a lot of more people know about you, they hear about you, and they understand what you do and the service that you provide. The next step is to capture that demand. Now, we're able to capture that demand because LinkedIn is such an amazing platform. It leaves social breadcrumbs everywhere. When someone likes your post, when someone comments on your post, when someone follows you, sends you a connection request, or when someone views your profile, there are 5 different intent signals coming into your LinkedIn profile that let you see how other people are discovering you or engaging with your content or beginning to understand what you do. Now, the very next step you have when you're generating all this demand is to make sure that you are at least able to become in a one-to-one conversation with these people that are leaving social breadcrumbs. So that means if someone sends a like, a comment, a connection request, a profile view, or follows you, and they look potentially qualified to buy your services or to work with you, you should 100% send them a connection request if they're not already connected with you, and you should be trying to start a conversation with them. You should be trying in some way to have a conversation with them that doesn't come across as salesy, that comes across as conversational, because we need to remember that everyone's not in buying window at the same time. Just because they liked your post or just because they viewed your profile does not mean they want to buy your services. In fact, what it means is that they are interested in you, they're curious, they might be willing to buy your services, is, but at this point we don't know. They're probably in the discovery or information collection phase. So all we're doing is we're starting a conversation so that they have a one-on-one relationship with us inside the DMs or as a connection. Now we do this whole process with AI. We literally have a bunch of scrapers set up on our profile. They scrape all the signals, they push it through, we qualify those potential prospects or signals, and we then know exactly who out of these guys, 100 people that have liked, commented, profile viewed, connected, followed, maybe there's only 10 of those people that are actually really qualified that could actually buy our services, and they become on our, CRM, our hit list. But what's amazing is once you have this connection, something really cool happens. You either can start a conversation and you can transition it yourself into a book call, or some people literally just say, hey, I'm actually open to buy right now. I just didn't go through to book a call on your website yet, which is completely normal. And then you can take this conversation and translate this engagement into sales. Now, the way we do this and the way I suggest you do this is every day you need to portion out some time to managing your LinkedIn DMs. Now, for our clients, we either help them, we give them scripts, we give them templates, or we give them an appointment setter. Now, what this person is doing, or if you're doing it, is you're having a back and forth conversation with that prospect, and there is a certain framework that you follow that enables you to book in a conversation, even though that you're a small account, even though you haven't got many followers, into a booked call. And we've booked our biggest calls and our best clients all from inbound DMs. So essentially, we're taking someone that's shown a social signal that they're interested, they have some sort of intent to learn a bit about what we do, and we're converting that conversation into a booked call. And the way we do this is by firstly trying to ascertain if there's a pain, if there's a problem that they need help solving, if they want that problem solved, and if we're able to qualify them for our services, i.e. they're the right type of business that we can help solve for. So to do this, we need to learn a lot of data. We need to know how big their business is, what their current employees are, whatever your qualification frameworks are. Now, the way I suggest you do this is once you have this conversation moving, is you essentially need to qualify and probe at the same time. You need to qualify for their size, their type of business, but we also need to probe for their pain points. Now, the best way, in my opinion, to do this is to ask questions. So every time you send a message to this prospect, you should always be ending that message in some sort of question that's designed to move the conversation down the line, whether either to qualify them or get deeper into that pain point. So as you go along in this conversation, you might say, hey, if you're a conversion rate optimization agency and you're trying to help someone create a new landing page, and that's the service that you sell, you might say, okay, how's your conversion rate? They might respond like, oh, cool, how much traffic are you bringing in? Oh, cool, how much, what's your budget on ad spend? You might be asking these questions to qualify for the service that you sell, but asking questions very directly like that can come across quite abrasive, can come across aggressive. So we need to soften those conversations. And the way I suggest you do that is before you ask a question, you just acknowledge the answer to their previous question and you show some sort of response to it. So typically when you're responding and you're having warm conversations, you're acknowledging, you're responding, and then you're making a new question. And if you keep acknowledging, responding, and then asking a new question, you keep the conversation moving to the end goal, which is to help them book in a call. Now, this alone, plus the content, is enough, again, to get you to six figures, to help you sign really, really good clients on your LinkedIn profile. But there are even more additional advanced techniques that you can use that work really, really well. So for example, on my profile or on Paolo's profile, my co-founder, we will run LinkedIn Live. So we run these webinars inside LinkedIn that enable us basically to speak for an hour on LinkedIn and create an awesome piece of content, which we then we put out to our YouTube channel. And we do this because we want our connections to get notifications from us and also just to get nurtured deeper in. Sometimes people, again, aren't ready to buy right now or to book a call, but we're able to build this trust in the market through our LinkedIn Lives and through our webinars. Now, if you want to consistently get these calls booked into your calendar, you need to be posting that daily content and every day checking for those new signals to DM people with, but don't forget you still need to follow up with your old leads. And so there is a framework to follow up with them. The short answer is, without going into too much detail, is don't be too aggressive. LinkedIn has an infinite message history. What that means is you can open up any profile, click message, and then see your whole conversation with them. So if you're too aggressive, you actually might burn that lead. There are better ways to follow up that are more value-led and that are slower, that work really, really well on LinkedIn. And typically it's just respecting their time and their space. Give them more time than you would on a cold email channel, for example, because you don't just burn through your LinkedIn profile. You take time to build up on your network and build really warm connections that are willing to spend, 6 figures and 7 figures with you. So there it is. Small accounts can make a huge amount of money on LinkedIn. So you've got two options right now. One, you can keep grinding for likes, views, comments, trying for months or years to go viral or to get lots of audience sizes such that you can eventually trickle down some people to convert into your high ticket offer or to your service or to your agency. Or you can just use a process that is proven to work to sign high ticket clients in the next 30 days, even with a small following. Again, like our client who only had an average of 8 likes a post, around 3,000 followers, but was literally signing 250,000 a year deals from LinkedIn. If you want the exact system that we use to get you going and sign new clients, you can scroll down below, click the first link in the description to buy our course, which will teach you how to find clients, how to optimize your profile, how to send DMs, how to write content so that you can get going on LinkedIn. Or if you're still skeptical, you want to know a bit more about who I am and how we operate, you can watch my next video. It's how you can make 100K a month through LinkedIn, and it's all broken out there too. Hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.